business grew, but the demands of bringing explosions of colour into other people's lives took their toll. Both Syd's grandfather and father lost hands. This shed formed part of the original factory where it all started. The factory has since moved and been modernised, but the methods remain the same. Everything is done by hand.
Even today, I've seen some of the factories in China, they're still making the fireworks they were the same way for 200 years ago, and it seems the safest way of doing it.
Safety is vital, but the hazards are still there. These flash walls, in effect safety barriers, prevent explosions spreading. Each employee works alone in a separate building.
If you have one accident, well, you don't have any problems with the rest of the buildings. Safety is mainly up to the individual. During the last few years, there's been a lot of concern with the toy fireworks. The fireworks you buy in these shops, they were banned just recently in Victoria. They had rockets, which we had banned in New South Wales several years ago. The bungers before that, and then the ball shooters only a year or two ago. The bungers are dangerous. Not that they're dangerous, it's just the way they're handled. They're thrown into people's faces and that. So by eliminating those danger problems, we should be able to still have fireworks in New South Wales for many years. Well, Michael here is fitting the long fuse into a 4-inch star shell. And here we have the lifting charge and the short fuse. The lifting charge is just gunpowder or a form of blasting powder. There's only about 2 factories left in the world manufacturing black powder, and all the others have blown up. We bend the fuse over, and then it is taped over the top here like this, and that's the way it fits in the mortar. That's the finished article. Ready to go.
Howard and Sons export their fireworks around the world, including displays to Disneyland. After working at so many agricultural shows, Syd has developed a love for Clydesdales. Often they become part of the show. The displays that we do in Australia are mainly for stadiums or agricultural displays, and of course the festivals. We're putting the lances on the stagecoach for tonight. The lances are the colours, give you the outline. They burn for 60 seconds, and we're at the moment almost finished this, and then we run the quick match round. Probably another half an hour and we'll have this job finished. We've got about another hour and a half's work for tonight. So, we're going well on time. We start at 7 a.m. in the morning, finish around about 5 o'clock setting up. It takes us about a half an hour to load the vehicles to go out onto the arena. We have about half an hour to set the display up on the arena and about 15 minutes for the show. It takes all day for that 15 minutes. Last-minute preparations must be executed quickly, but accurately. This accuracy ensures the safety of the crew and a faultless performance. Every display has got their own enjoyments if you're putting it together. If you're doing a big aerial display and you're firing it electrically, it's putting it all together, getting your colours right, your finales. Finales is probably the most important part because that's what the people remember, so you've really got to come up with something that's exciting, fast, and that's when we use our quick burst shells. We start off with probably slow with plenty of colours, and when you're doing a showground display, then you can get your designs. We do a lot of logos for sponsors, and they come into these sort of displays, and then you can come up with, say, a fire engine fighting a house, or comical type set pieces like the
cowboys and Indians.
When we ignite the set piece, it takes about 2.5 seconds for the whole lot to light. It's just one big cracker.
Equipment must always be in perfect condition.
I was involved in a show in Monaco a couple of years ago where we had used other people's equipment, their mortars to fire the star shells, and they were cardboard, beam wet, and they blew apart, which started a chain reaction where they sort of blew all the rest apart too.
You have to come up with something new every year. Go back probably 6 or 7 years ago was when we first started. It was a theme for a royal show. The first one we did was a Star Wars theme. And then we started something but we couldn't stop because everyone said, what are you going to do next? Because you've done something that was different.
These men operating the set pieces and firing the explosions will, in the near future, become unnecessary. Their special combination of timing and cool nerve will be replaced by electrical equipment.
Good equipment. Check your equipment all the time. Otherwise, you can be in trouble. You only get one chance in this.
Come on.
Time and experience that you start to put these things together. You spend a lot of time, you think a lot about it, and then you start to put it down on paper just before you know that you're going to fire so many blue shells. Then you might go to a mauve or a purple. Then all of a sudden you'll do an illuminations section of the display. You know in your mind it's just time and experience that what you exactly want. And then you know, as I say, you get to those finales, then you know that you've got to be starting off down low and building up your heights, coming out from 3-4 inch, and then if it's a really big display, going up into the 10 and 12 inch shells. We would like to see the business carried on in the name for Howard and Sons. But that's the things of the future, to see our children are only young at the moment. It's always the family business that seems to succeed and keeps on going, because apparently you've got to be born in it to be able to take it.
Hit it! Hit it!
Well, why do they do it? Why do they put themselves at risk? Perhaps they don't see it as dangerous at all. It's just the thrill of it. It's fairly obvious they love their work. How many of us can say the same?